Okay.
Uh, Good evening, everyone. We are Group 7. Today we are going to present about the Gojek and Grab case study in Vietnam. And our chosen theme for today's analysis is the battle between the dominant and the challenger. So, before we dive into our presentation, let me briefly introduce our team. We have three members: Tristan, Minh Tú, and me, Đức. So our presentation structure will have four key parts, which are shown on the screen. First, we'll start with the market context and entry strategy. Next is the comparative positioning comparison. Then we will analyze the reasons for limited success and provide a strategic perspective in task 4, strategic pivot, and finally, we'll end our presentation with our conclusion and discussion question. So to understand the nature of this battle, let's look back to the Gojek's journey. In in 2018, they entered the booming market under the brand Gojek, and the next 2 years, they changed their name to Gojek Vietnam to unify their global brand identity. And in 2024, specifically on September 16th, they officially withdrew from Vietnam, failing to sustain their position against the competition. So, how did they start? Let's dive into the first part, analyzing the entry strategy of Gojek. In uh, 2018, Gojek adopted a guerrilla tactic based on three strategic pillars. The first pillar is brand. They used a hyperlocalization strategy. Instead of Gojek, they create Go Viet using red and gold color to appeal to nationalism, led by a local Vietnamese team. And second is price. They applied penetration pricing. They launched flat rates of the 1,000 and 5,000 Vietnam dong, and they accepted an aggressive cash burn strategy to acquire market share. And third is about product. They choose a lean portfolio. They focus strictly on bike and food, completely ignoring car and payment services in the initial phase to move as fast as possible. And from the strategy on paper, their execution was extremely aggressive. Regarding tactics, Govit conducted a massive recruitment with free uniform for the drivers and launched shocking 1,000 and 5,000 Vietnam dong prices, creating a red wave on the street. Regarding the result, it was an instant shock. Just 6 weeks after launching, they claimed around 35% of the market share in Ho Chi Minh City and reached $1.5 million downloads. However, with this hot growth against giant like Grab, for the next part, Tristan will help us compare their position. Minh Tú will help us compare their positioning. Chưa bật mic ông ơi.
Hello everyone. I will continue the presentation with the comparative positioning, Grab versus Gojek in Vietnam. Next slide. The first one to compare is that the time of entry and first mover advantage. Grab entered Vietnam in 2014 building scale during the first phase of ride-hailing growth and then gaining an even bigger boost when exited Southeast Asia in 2018 and transferred its regional operations to Grab. Uh, Meanwhile, Gojek only entered Vietnam in August 2018 under the Gojek brand right after Uber left. By that time, Grab already operated across dozens of provinces and had become the default ride-hailing app in major Vietnamese cities. Come to the next. It is service scope. Grab Vietnam gradually evolved into a super app, ride-hailing, motorbike and car, and food delivery, GrabFood, and parcel delivery, Grab Express, and grocery, GrabMart, and its integrated financial service, worker e-wallet, insurance, lending, rewards. Users and drivers can switch between ride-hailing, food, package, and groceries within a single app, which has become Grab's main positioning in Vietnam. And Gojek or GoViet in Vietnam started with GoBike and GoSend, then added GoFood, but for a long period, it lacked key ecosystem bits like GoBike, the careless payments, and GoCar. Even even though these services existed in Indonesia and 2019 analysis. Uh, turn back. And 2019 analysis noted that in Vietnam, GoViet only offered three basic services: GoBike, GoSend, and GoFood, while the super app ambition remained unrealized. Next, as the third sector is payments and ecosystem integration. Grab locked in user and merchant by integrating Mocha e-wallet directly into the Grab app. The Mocha on Grab partnership enables convenient cashless payment for rice, food, and later other services, and extended to third-party merchants, strengthening Grab's financial service positioning and loyalty loop. Meanwhile, Gojek, in contrast, remained largely cash-based for a long time and was slow to adapt to Vietnam's fintech boom, even as local e-wallets like Momo, VNPay, or others grew aggressively. Gojek did not quickly secure a strong, deeply integrated payments partner, and analysis pointed out that this cash-only approach was a major handicap compared to Grab Mocha partnerships. And about the geographic coverage and market reach. By the time Gojek arrived, Grab already covered over 40 provinces and cities before merging, and which builds a strong user habit and driver base nationwide. However, Gojek Vietnam was much more limited in reach. Official sources note that before existing, it operated in Ho Chi Minh City, Hà Nội, Bình Dương, and Đồng Nai only. So let's move on to the market share and brand strength. Earlier in the competition, ABI research estimates that Grab already held over 72% of Vietnam's ride volume market, while Gojek had only 10.3%. And by 2022 to 2023, multiple market studies show that Gojek's share ranked significant as local players like T and Saint SM Bros. A 2024 ride-hailing market report shows that after Gojek's decline and eventual exit, Grab still dominated with about 42% of Vietnam's ride-hailing market, which be at about which be at about 32% and Saint SM at about 19%. Let's let's move to the last section is the financial performance and strategic priority. Vietnam has become a core growth market for Grab's regional super app strategy. Grab continues to invest heavily in technology, partnership, for example, tourism, digital economy, and service diversification, while still managing to move into profitability at the group level. And for Gojek, or Go2, Vietnam remains a small and increasingly unprofitable outpost. Gojek Vietnam contributes less than 1% of Go2's gross transaction value by Q2 by the second quarter of 2024, and its market share declined from around 30% to only 7% over 2 years, and accumulated loss near 5 5.7 trillion Vietnam đồng by the end 2023. And let's move on to the reason for Gojek's limited success in Vietnam. Yeah, let's. The first reason we find is that the late entry and loss of first mover advantage. Gojek entered Vietnam in 2018 after Uber and Grab had already educated the market and locked in many user drivers. By the time Gojek launched, Grab had several years of operation and experience with local regulators, deep coverage in major cities and many provinces, and habitual use among urban consumers used used to grasp discount price and integrated service. This means Gojek was not sharing a vision market with Uber and Grab, but trying to dislodge an incumbent that already has scale data and strong network effects. Next, and the next reason is incomplete super app and weak product differ differentiation. In Indonesia, Gojek's strength is its broad ecosystem is such dozens of services from bus transport to payments and on-demand service. But in Vietnam, major parts of that ecosystem never show up or arrive too late. Up to late 2019, GoVet only offered GoBike, GoSend, and GoFood without GoCar and GoPay. And during this time, Grab already had GoBike, GrabBike, GrabCar, GrabFood, Grab Express, and GrabMart, and the Mocha e-wallet with a clear and consistent super app narrative. As a result, Gojek's value proposition in Vietnam looked like a thinner version of Grab, similar core service, but fewer options, quicker payments, and smaller coverage. For many consumers, there was no strong reasons to switch away from a familiar Grab ecosystem just for price promotions. And the third reason is fragmented brand leadership and leadership instability. Gojek's Vietnam arm suffered frequent leadership changes and branding confusion. Launched as GoViet, a bread brand in 1918, to rebrand to Gojek Vietnam in 2020 to align with the parent brand, and two Bromian CEOs left within a short period. First, the uh, co-founder Nguyễn Phú Đức left the CEO role after about 6 months, and former Facebook Vietnam head Lê Diệp Kiều Trang resigned after only around 5 months. And because of that, it caused the damage internal execution and slow product rollout. For example, it delays in launching GoCar and cashless payments, and created brand inconsistency. The consumer had to adapt from GoViet to Gojek, while some other competitors remain stable and visible. In a network effect business, leadership instability translates into delayed decisions on pricing, tech development, partnership, and market expansion, exactly what a less trained challenger cannot afford. We will move on to the fourth reason. It is a slow response on cashless payments and local partnership. While Vietnam's fintech and e-wallet since accelerated, Gojek was slow to secure a robust payment solution. Grab partnered early and deeply with Mocha, embedding the e-wallet into the Grab app, enabling seamless cashless payments and later financial products. And Gojek remained cash-heavy, and any later partnerships, for example selective features on Momo, these were too late and not as deeply integrated as GrabMocha tie-up. Because of that, Grab reinforced user loyalty with wallets, points, and promotions inside a unified ecosystem, and Gojek's users had less incentive to store value and or transact regularly in its app, which weakened retention and cross-selling opportunities. Next slide. And the next reason is over-reliance on discounts and unsustainable cash burn. From 2020 to 2022, Gojek tried to grow fast by aggressively expanding ride-hailing, food delivery, and logistics in major cities, heavily using promotions and discounts to acquire users and drivers. However, these tactics result in short-term buy in order
Đi ra.
but weak long-term loyalty, since
Tao bảo mày biến cơ mà,
consumers
tao đang thuyết trình.
in Vietnam are highly price sensitive and can quickly switch apps when promotion trends, and it can result in mounting loss. By late 2023, Gojek Vietnam had accumulated loss of roughly 5.7 trillion Vietnam đồng, while its market share dropped from around 30% to 7%, and revenue in 2023 was only about 8.15 US dollar, far below competitors' revenue. Next, and let's go to the last reason: intensifying competition from local players. Gojek did not only compete with Grab, it also faced rising local champions. We built a strong Made in Vietnam positioning, expanded into multiple transport and ticket service, flights, trains, or buses, and achieved high customer retention. Sang SM, backed by Vinru, entered with an own electric fleet and a no surcharge pricing model, quickly grabbing over 30% of the ride-hailing market and becomes the second largest platform in Vietnam by the mid-2024. Uh, and about the Grab, it remains the leader in the ride-hailing in Vietnam. Now, with the Grab still leading and local players gaining share, Gojek was squeezed in the middle, not as dominant or well capitalized as Grab, and it is not as locally embedded or differentiation as B and Sangesta. Because of the this reason, GoTo decided in September 2024 to shut down Gojek in Vietnam, and Gojek announced it would cease operations in Vietnam on the 5th and the 16th of September in 2024. And the next batch will be reset by Kristen.
Open the mic. Tristan, open the mic.
Having seen all the problems thus far, then the fourth task would be, what could have saved Gojek? Then the answer goes as follows as we dive into the others' rights. What Gojek could have done to avoid losing to Grab in the Vietnamese markets and other close competitors. That's right. First, they could have moved area and scale faster because Grab started from 2014 while GoViet started from 2018. They could have moved before or apply some strategies which will enable them to scale through. By the time Gojek arrived, Grab already owned mindshare, driver networks, and merchant relationships. And also, the Gojek also needed area entry or faster expansion in major cities like Ho Chi Minh, Hanoi to compete with, because by that time, Grab have already mastered the market ground. They have gone far to the market competition. They have mastered they have a kind of mastered the culture of the Vietnamese people and the foreigners in Vietnam. So they were able and easily penetrate through the Vietnamese market, unlike Goviet with other problems that enable them or made them not to scale through. Next slide. Number two, they could have maintained a unified regional platform because the platform they use, which we still see later on, they were kind of not centralized. They were in subheadings or subsections, which made their customer or their user not to be kind of user friendly with the app. Gojek strategies, because the problem started from their strategy, they allowed Goviet to operate independently. Result being that fragmented tech infrastructure, slower product updates, and inconsistent branding incurred in. Why? Grab's strategy is they deployed a single integrated app, which is what is still helping Grab up till now. Their app is still very strong, and also the network, they have everything in the Grab food, Grab app, Grab bike, Grab car, everything. The result is faster feature, rural consistency in US across C, and superior data pointing. Then the main point here is Gojek could have kept a centralized tech stack and brand from day one, which is their major problem, which delved into other problems that they started having that made them to exit the market, not standing to the test of competition. Next slide. Then the third reason now is stronger driver and merchants incentive strategy. They could have used stronger drivers and merchant incentive strategies, which will bring customers to them, open market way to them, and also for them to be easily penetrate into the Vietnamese market. Grab invested heavily in driver bonuses, guarantees, merchant subsidies, long-term royalty programs, which Gojek failed to imitate and also to appropriate into their system. For instance, Gojek incentives were less aggressive, short-term, often disrupted by internal leadership turnover, which the leadership after some months, which one of our team members have pointed already, after some months they started having leadership problem, which made them to some key stakeholders to pull out. We started the stabilization of the company. Then the main point here is Gojek needed stable long-term investment to lock in supply drivers restaurant because they weren't able to apply some stronger drivers merchant incentive strategy, which Grab applied that helped them to maintain the market status quo up to today. They failed in these aspects. That's right. Then another point, what Gojek could have done for them to maintain be in the market and also maintain a stable position in Vietnamese mobile market is number one is Goviet saw multiple CEO-led resignation in its first year, which I appointed before earlier on, that because of the problem of the CEO, the leadership problem, the company started collapsing. While Grab Vietnamese team was stable, local, and well funded, enabling faster ground level operations, which Gojek itself failed in this aspect because of their leadership instability and local expertise being ahead of them. Then Gojek could have hired more experienced Vietnamese market operators, which Grab is still making use of today, and also ensure leadership stability for consistent execution. While the main point here is Grab is maintaining Vietnamese culture, Vietnamese people in their leadership affairs, while Gojek, when they penetrate into Vietnam market, they did not study the culture of Vietnamese very well. They weren't able to penetrate in the culture. They weren't able to read the market for them to be in the same pace, for them to be in the competitive level with other counterparts of theirs, like Grab, which is the highest, and others. They overlooked this, which leadership problem also brought about their instability and their exit not lasting long in the Vietnamese markets. Next slide. Then the fifth point also, what Gojek could have done for them to be in the system and for them to be in the Vietnamese transportation market is broader service ecosystem and earlier. Grab quickly launched Grab Food 1, Grab Pay 2, and Grab Express 3, which they made you. Hello. Okay. The fifth reason what Gojek could have done for them to be in the system and for them to still maintain in the Vietnamese market position is they should have applied a broader service ecosystem earlier. Grab is making use of Grab Food, Grab Pay, and Grab Express, which three of these have a uniform, centralized system of payments, which enable the app to still be relevant to the Vietnamese customers and their customers worldwide. Gojek moved slower beyond ride hailing. They needed to expand the ecosystem area to capture wallet share. Because you see, these services, they are multiple in one single system. Next slide. Then the sixth point, which facilitates what Gojek could have done for them to maintain the system or still be in the market, is they should have applied stronger payments and fintech integration. Vietnam is a cash-heavy market, but Grab partnered with Mocha earlier on before, built a strong fintech presence more than Gojek, and Gojek lacked in payments, remitting strictness. A strong local e-wallet alliance would have accelerated Gojek growth, but they failed to do so, which grabbed a pride that made them to be in the first position in the Vietnamese system or transportation system. Next slide. In conclusion and in summary form, having seen all those points, what Gojek could have done that they failed to do, which Grab applied in their system that made them to be relevant and also be in the super and in also the apex position in Vietnamese markets in terms of transportation, home delivery, and e-service. Gojek withdrew from the Vietnamese market in 2024, marks the failure of a challenger against Grab entrenched position. Despite an impressive start, which they started before, they couldn't sustain the position when the system started demanding for some challenges or some things that they should have upgraded for them to still maintain in the system. With its localization strategies, GoViet, which now Gojek, was unable to sustain growth due to late market entry, a lagging service ecosystem, slow rollout of digital payments and car services, and continuous instability in senior leadership. The core lesson from this case is that in all the super app raise a low price strategy is insufficient. The key factors for winning lie in first mover advantage, which Grab used, is operating stability and the ability to integrate a comprehensive financial ecosystem right from the start, which Grab applied in their system that made them to be in the number one in the Vietnamese market. Every day by day, they upgrade their system. They change some vehicles, they change their internal structure and upgrade internal structure. They listen to the complaint of people, the feedback of people, and it enabled them to scale through in some challenges that they could have had. Then upgrading the system made them also to be relevant, to listen to the feedback, to upgrade in the feedback, and to put it in practice. It made them also, and the price structure, price strategy, Grab every day, reduce their price, make their price to be acceptable and also welcome by middle, lower, and the higher class. And it made them to penetrate inside the provinces, inside the communities, and also in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh. Their presence there also make them to be globally recognized or communally recognized by Vietnamese system, Vietnamese market, and Vietnamese people, and which made them also to be in the system up to date because they are pride and they work with feedback of people and price strategies up to date. Then question number one. What would you do, what would you have done differently if you were Gojek CEO during the early expansion years? Having been having been outside when Grab was operating and being in Vietnam markets in 2018, they could have first of all study
Cái gì con đang bận?
the price and the strategies that
Đang bận.
Grab
Gọi
used,
mãi.
which made them to be operating and made the market to accept them, and which made them to be in the market and be scaling through and to be in the upper position in all other transmission system. They could have watched their price
Mẹ có
strategy.
mấy cái túi cơ mà.
They could have watched their internal structure. They could have watched the
Vào
internal
đấy đi.
structure of their system, being that they're supposed to centralize the app
Tham ửa đấy.
like Grab did, Grab Pay, Grab Food. Is supposed to be in the same app, and also their structure. They're supposed to apply incentives to the CEO,
Đi à, đi à.
the leadership they have in the
Ồ, tí nữa
structure.
hút.
They could have used some incentives to make them to be in the system, and they could have pay their drivers well, which will bring the drivers of Grab and also other Vietnamese drivers, experienced drivers and experienced workers to the system. And also they could have reduced the price. Reduction of the price will make the demand higher because of the theory of demand and supply. When you bring out the price, when the price is down, the demand will be higher. They could have watched the strategies of price, the strategies of incentives, the strategy of internal structure, and the strategies of centralization of the different uh, 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 different key sectors like Grab Food, Grab Bike, Grab e-payments, all that are supposed to be in the centralized app. Then the number two is to avoid the same fate. Can local rivals like B or Zwansem survive solely on price ride hailing, or must they build a complete ecosystem like Grab? This also, they could have imitated Grab because Grab was excelling. They could have imitated Grab in some key factors which Grab was heading higher then. Then the price that I talked in the question number one, the price factor, the Vietnamese market, they are sensitive to the price. Once they notice that the price is going higher, the demand reduces, and which is normal in the theory of demand, supply, and the price structure. Where if the price is higher, the abnormal demand will come in. In this now, the B others one same supposed to focus on their price. Number one, knowing fully well that the Vietnamese market or the Vietnamese population, most people who patronize this app ranges from the students and students from 18, 15, 17 till 34, 35, 40 years that patronizes this app, and which this level now are middle income earners. They are sensitive to price factors, which if there is an increase or decrease in price factor, it will either bring people to them or scale away customers from them. They should have imitated Grab in the price structure and imitate Grab in some other things, then go into the market to know what people want that Grab is not offering. Then they will provide that for them. because during the rainy season or during the rainy time, Grab used to be high cost. It used to be very costly. What B is supposed to do, or Zwansim is supposed to do now, is they maintain their price whenever there is a kind of rain or weather changes. Then the app itself will augment for the drivers, pay the drivers the remaining that they're supposed to charge for the customers or the passengers. Because now Grab is in, when the weather changes, Grab increases price. When the weather when rain falls, Grab increases their price. The competitors are now supposed to, having seen the problem, this present problem now, supposed to stabilize the price during rainy season. It will make them to go far ahead of Grab in present time. Next, thank you for listening. We thank the audience and thank every one of us for participating and for listening, taking part in these projects. Thanks all, and have a good day.